Welcome to BangkokPost.com. As red shirt protesters start heading towards meeting points in the provinces around Bangkok for their major rally on Sunday, the government is moving ahead in preparation for the demonstration amid fears of violence and unrest. Sathit Wongdongtoy, the minister attached to the Prime Minister's office, will be briefing government officials from various agencies at 10 p.m. tonight, explaining security measures and preparations to be adopted for the red shirt rally on Sunday. This briefing is expected to last 2 hours and is likely to be televised. This is an indication that the government and the military want to be fully prepared. That preparation is based on the premise and the belief that Sunday's rally is likely to result in widespread violence. The military concerned that violent acts could come from former military officers who have joined the red shirts. And rather than wait for the protesters to arrive in Bangkok, they have started to deploy men to reach out to the protesters in the provinces to do two things. One is to urge them not to come to Bangkok, or at the very least, not to be involved in any violent acts. At the same time, our military are at a heightened stage of preparedness, putting in place a three-phase plan which would enable them to draw troops from nearby provinces of Lopburi, Kanchanaburi, and Saraburi to support peacekeeping troops in Bangkok who are now supporting police. Security has also been tightened at provincial halls and airports around the country, especially in key provinces, because there's a fear that if there's unrest in Bangkok, there could also be attacks or attempts to seize provincial halls upcountry. The red shirt leadership, however, has accused the government of whipping up sentiment against the rally, which they say will be peaceful and without incident. Former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra yesterday said that he has always stressed that the red shirts must stick to the strategy of Mahatma Gandhi, who used peaceful means in fighting for independence of India. He said, "We must fight for democracy by peaceful means and by uncovering the truth, even if most media are under the control of the government." He added that the real red shirts have the same objectives, that is, a true democracy in which the supreme power belongs to the people, not an elite group, and for justice. Amid these preparations, Prime Minister Apisit Vechachiwa said yesterday after a meeting of the Internal Security Operations Command that there were reports of possible sabotage, but he urged the public not to panic, although remain alert. He made these comments after Deputy Prime Minister Suthep Thaugsuban said that security in the capital would be tightened after the government received intelligence reports of possible bombings of 2 to 3 major spots in the city and 30 to 40 other possible targets. Special branch police have said that the possible targets are newspapers, banks, department stores, and petrol stations. Mr. Suthep stressed that the protesters would not be allowed to blockade the 2 international airports in Bangkok. The airports must continue to provide services as usual, he said, and if there is any attempt to seize the airport, the government will immediately disperse the protesters. Despite the tension, which is likely to increase as rally day nears, there appears to at least be one positive development today. Prime Minister Apisit announced the appointment of a Secretary General, Gopsak Sapavasu, to head a working group to coordinate with core members of the United Front for Democracy Against Dictatorship. The aim of this working group is to keep the channels of communication open with the UDD leadership so as to avoid any misunderstanding of the government's intentions during the demonstrations, which the government believes could lead to violence. That's all for now. We will continue to update you with the latest developments on BangkokPost.com through this channel, as well as other channels such as Breaking News and Top Stories.